We're with Ben Stiller, who's currently appearing in Permanent Midnight, and this is the story of a man who was on this show one time, Jerry Stahl.
That's right.
Who had a terrible drug addiction, and he beat it.
Yeah. He's a fiction writer who kind of fell into comedy writing, was writing on television shows like Alf and Moonlighting, and just developed this really bad addiction, and it bottomed out in a really bad way. And then he wrote this memoir about it that was really, when I read it, was really funny and evocative and just kind of ironic, and it dealt with that problem in a way that I hadn't seen before because there was so much humor within it. So yeah, so we did this film that was based on the book.
So how much time did you spend with Jerry, and how much time in his surroundings before you went to shoot the picture?
I spent about 9 months with him. Yeah, because we became really good friends, and we had a lot of time because it took time to get money raised for the movie between the time that I agreed to do it and they, because my name is so powerful, Tom. At the minute I say yes to a movie, it's at least 9 months till they get the money. But so it was great though, because we had time to get to know each other, and he really helped me.
And what kinds of people are in his circle of friends now?
Now?
Yeah.
Jerry, I guess he's a loner type of guy, I'd say, because he's a real writer. I mean, every day he's just writing, and he's got. I mean, in terms of his friends, I think he's, I consider myself a good friend of his, and he's like me in that, like, he's not one of the, I don't have a lot of like really close friends. Or,
I understand.
So I mean, but he's it's about his work for him.
What are some misconceptions you think that people have about drug abusers? I think a lot of people think they all live on the street, and that they're all bums, and that they don't have, when as a matter of fact, that's not quite true, is it?
I think there's huge misconceptions about what kinds of people use drugs, and I think a lot of people aren't aware of people who are using drugs in their everyday life and functioning with a huge secret, and that's kind of what the movie is about. A guy who had a huge secret was living this life in Hollywood, and writing on television shows and kind of being a part of that game, and then going and having this incredibly secret life in East LA and scoring whatever. And I think there's so many people out there who just who have big secrets, whether it's a drug addiction or food or sex or drinking or, I mean, there's
whatever.
Everybody is dealing with a lot out there that they don't talk about. So that was what was interesting to me about working on this.
Now, I'm flattered that you used part of our interview with him, the night he was here. Where does this appear in your picture?
It's at the end of the film. There's kind of a montage of Jerry's interviews that he did when he wrote his book, and it's me cut in as Jerry.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, with you. So it's really like the uplifting ending of the book to see this guy made it out and actually, was able to take this experience and turn it into something positive. So I was very happy when you guys said that it was okay to use your
Hey, we're flattered. We're always flattered to be part of something that's good.
Thank you. Thanks. And it's interesting to see, because it's weird, because I've been on your show as me, to see in the movie me on your show as Jerry.
Hey, rather than tell them, let's show them. Okay. Here is a little bit now from Permanent Midnight. His dark and funny book is called Permanent Midnight. It's a raw account of the depths of his habit and how he was able to claw his way out. When you got to Hollywood and you're working on these series that I mentioned, these were big series, what kind of a double life must you have led? Because you had to, at some level, perform as a writer.
Well, Tom, the beauty of Hollywood is that everybody's so self-obsessed, they don't really notice what anybody else is doing. So basically, they come filing in the morning with their cappuccinos and croissants, and I'd come bouncing in with my heroin and syringes, and pretty much lock myself in the office and get really pleasant for about an hour and a half.
That's uncanny. That's just uncanny.
Isn't that weird? Yeah. It's kind of like
that's weird.
Life imitating art.
I should have got my hair cut that day.
Oh, you look great. But it's so funny because I've been hearing your voice. I've seen the movie a lot.
And right.
So that line that you have, just you see it so many times over and over again. It's like very familiar to me.
It's great to see you, my friend.
Yeah,
it's always a treat to have you here.
Yeah, and I definitely hope I get to come back one more time.
Before graduation day, you will definitely be back here. Okay, after the first of the year. Great. Right. Thank you, sir.
Good to see you.
Okay. Happy holidays, young man.
Thank you.
Ben Stiller is the guest, currently appearing in There's Something About Mary, and A Great Departure. Permanent Midnight, you've just seen a bit of that, and of course we had Mr. Stahl here on the program, so you know what that's about. Next, Joe Queenan and what's happening in pop culture in America, travels of a writer after this short timeout.